The intense rivalry between Becky Lynch and Nia Jax culminated tonight on Raw from Raleigh, North Carolina, in a last woman standing match. Would the man continue to build momentum on the road to WrestleMania 40 and a date with Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley? Or would the Irresistible Force earn a significant win and put a damper on her opponent's run toward Philadelphia? Find out with this recap of tonight's show, which also featured the latest qualifiers for the six-pack tag team ladder match at WrestleMania and the contract signing for Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Gunther and Sami Zayn's clash on the grand stage. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streamio.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined by good old MF, Michael Fletcher. We are possibly awaiting the presence of the Phenom, Michael Bullock. Mr. Bullock and I did not have our Raw chat this evening. I'm sure he had commitments beyond his control, but if he comes in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, then we'll hopefully have him back with us Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness. Monday Night Raw, as we continue on the road to WrestleMania 40, live tonight from the PNC Arena. The home of PNC Arena, Raleigh, North Carolina, the home of the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes, and of course, the toast of the college basketball world, the NC State Wolfpack, especially after what the men's basketball team did in the ACC tournament, 5 wins in 5 days. I'm never going to get over that. But anyways, let's dive on in as we are three Raws away from WrestleMania, and we started off in-ring segment, and it was Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso comes out. He does the whole yeet dance with Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee nearly fell off his chair doing it. That's how amped he was. And Jimmy, he called out brother Jimmy, and sure enough, Jimmy showed up. And look at this, we finally got some build to Jey versus Jimmy at WrestleMania. And but then they got physical. Jey super kicked Jimmy, and that brought out Solo Sikoa. And then making the save was none other than Cody Rhodes. And we're going to be talking about Cody Rhodes a little bit later on. Trust you me when I tell you. But I'll tell you, Cody and Jey versus Solo and Jimmy were headlining this weekend's house shows, and they're headlining this weekend's house shows. So I'll tell you right now, we didn't get it tonight, but maybe next week or the week after, I don't know. But I got a feeling that tag team match is in order. I just got this feeling. But I'll tell you what, solid segment, and the little touch of Cody running out without his entrance theme to make it feel a little more impromptu, and it was great. And the Usos are telling a story easy enough to understand with great passion expressed from both, and a crowd that is eating it all up. Their match at WrestleMania 40 may face questions about their in-ring chemistry together, but all of the other pieces are there for a classic. So there's no doubt about that. That was not the segment of the night, mind you. But it definitely was one of the segments of the night. We had some good segments here tonight. I would say on the whole, it was the third best segment of the night for me. So, because there were 2 other segments I felt were better. So we'll get into both of those a little bit later on. But nonetheless, MF, brother versus brother. And I noticed something. Every 15 years, it seems we get a brother versus brother match at WrestleMania. It started at WrestleMania 10. Started at WrestleMania 10 with Bret and Owen Hart. 15 years later, at WrestleMania 25, Matt and Jeff Hardy in their Extreme Rules match. Fast forward another 15 years to this year in 40, Jey versus Jimmy. And tonight, we finally got some build to it, and who knows? Could it give one of those brother matches a run for its money?
Well, Guess we'll wait and find out. I know the excitement is there. We know who going into this. I think a lot of people are kind of rooting for Jay to win this one. Um, as you know, and if you think about it, it's actually even 1-1 going into this. Jay Owen beat Brett in the first one. I believe Matt. I believe Jeff beat Matt. Anthony?
No, no, no.
No,
Matt match.
Matt. Yeah, Matt stole it.
Jeff got his payback though at the Backlash in Providence.
Yeah. So I mean, how's that gonna? If you really think about it, you would think maybe Jimmy would be the odds-on favorite in this one. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, in this one here, who knows? But like you said, finally some build, and that was some good build going into it. So nothing more to say, Anthony. It's yours.
All right, so the Heel brothers won both of those matchups. Could that be an omen for Jimmy? I don't know. We'll see. But all right. SmackDown, the way they're going about this, they're doing it, via like a tournament bracket style. Not on Raw. We're having straight up qualifying matches. And this is the first of 3 qualifying matches for the 6-pack challenge ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania. DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Creed brothers. Winners of the match, 18 minutes and 35 seconds. DIY, they are going to WrestleMania. Opportunity of a lifetime for them. MF, I mean, Gargano and Ciampa, mainstays of NXT for so many years. And now, for the first time, DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa can finally say, we're going to WrestleMania. So MF, DIY wins 18-35. What a match.
Good match. Great fight. 4 to 4.25 stars, without a doubt. One of the best fights of the evening. Great wrestling psychology. Great look. Great feel. The action was amazing. The fight was just as good. But if you really think about it, in a nutshell, 2 of Triple H's guys are now going to be prominently featured at WrestleMania. That's the key thing more than anything else. If it was somebody else running WWE, I think Creeds go over. But this is Triple H's WrestleMania. This has his fingerprints all over it. Do you think in one Colin Pickens second that Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, 2 guys he coveted during the days of NXT, was not going to be going to WrestleMania under these circumstances? Absolutely freaking no. These guys deserved it. These were the guys that Triple H leaned on NXT. This is Triple H's guys he's leaning on at WrestleMania. That's why we got the result we got. That's why we're seeing this team go over, and that's why I'm ecstatic for them. Creeds will get their time. Creeds will get their moment. Not yet. Maybe next year. Florio, this was an amazing fight. It is all yours.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You can make an argument for Fight of the Night honors if you wanted to. 4.25, 4.5 stars. That's my rating for it. The win came in an action-packed in-ring opener that built gradually before unleashing a series of near falls and false finishes, culminating with a roll-up that cashed the former NXT World Champions tickets to Philadelphia. Even in defeat, the Creeds impressed, looking every bit the equals of their celebrated opponents while showcasing the physicality and athleticism that has defined their young careers. They are destined for great things in WWE, even if they will have to wait until WrestleMania to experience them. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano will now advance to the biggest event of the year, where they will be one of 5 challengers to Finn Balor and Damian Priest's undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships in the 6-pack tag team ladder match. The innovative offense of the Creeds is always fun to watch. They work hard to keep their in-ring work fresh and lean on their athleticism to do it. And Julius Creed delivered a vertical suplex from his knees, then his feet, all while holding Tommaso Ciampa perfectly vertical. Wow. 4.25, 4.5 stars. You could certainly make an argument for Fight of the Night here, no doubt about it. This next match, however, not so much. Oh, not so much. But before we get into that, of course, a week ago, the newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame, Thunderbolt Patterson. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know much about the guy, and I don't know if MF knows anything about him, but nonetheless, Thunderbolt Patterson, I believe it was last Wednesday, was announced as the newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame, joining the likes of Paul Heyman, Bull Nakano, the U.S. Express, Mike Rotundo, and Barry Windham, and of course, celebrity inductee Muhammad Ali, and now you can add Thunderbolt Patterson to that list, and from what I know, I heard that he was very influential to the likes of Dusty Rhodes, and he was one of the first great talkers in the professional wrestling industry. And as far as his accomplishments go, he was in Championship Wrestling from Florida. He was a Florida version NWA Brass Knuckles champion one time, and a one-time NWA Florida heavyweight champion. Continental Wrestling Association, he was their world heavyweight champion on one occasion. Received the Lou Thesz Award in 2019 as part of the George Tragos Lou Thesz Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. Georgia Championship Wrestling, a 3-time co-holder of the NWA Georgia Tag Team Championship with 3 different partners, Mr. Wrestling, Tommy Rich, and Tony Atlas. 2-time NWA Georgia Television Champion, and a 1-time NWA National Tag Team Champion with the late, great Ole Anderson, who just passed away a few weeks ago. In International Championship Wrestling, he was their United States Heavyweight Champion on one occasion. Maple Leaf Wrestling held the Toronto version of the NWA United States Heavyweight Championship on one occasion. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling was an NWA Atlantic Coast Tag Team Champion one time with Jerry Briscoe. NWA Big Time Wrestling, 4-time co-holder of the NWA American Tag Team Championship. He held it twice with Wahoo McDaniel, one with Toru Tanaka, and another with Johnny Valentine. NWA Tri-State, the Tri-State version of the champion. He was a one-time holder of that belt. Western State Sports held the Amarillo version of the NWA Brass Knuckles Championship 4 times. 4-time holder of that title. World Wrestling Association, World Tag Team Champion one time with Alberto Torres. He got a not-so-high honor in 1985 when the Wrestling Observer newsletter hit him with the Worst on Interviews honor or dishonor. He was Worst on Interviews in 1985, and then, of course, WWE inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024. It was announced last Wednesday, so I mean, like I said, I don't know much about the guy, but congratulations to him nonetheless. And one of his last matches was actually at the Slamboree 1993 Slamboree. He competed in a Legends reunion match. He teamed up with Brad Armstrong to defeat Ivan Koloff and Baron von Raschke. And he also served as the mentor for another wrestler who passed away recently, Ice Train from WCW. So So nonetheless, congratulations to Thunderbolt Patterson, the newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024. And he'll take his rightful place on Friday night, April the 5th, at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, the night before WrestleMania, following WrestleMania SmackDown. And that Hall of Fame ceremony, of course, will air exclusively on Peacock here in the United States and the WWE network elsewhere around the world. So congratulations to Thunderbolt Patterson. MF, I know you probably don't know much about the guy, but nonetheless, Thunderbolt Patterson going into the WWE Hall of Fame and announced late last week.
The one criteria I've been hearing is that in the WWE Hall of Fame, that I know I'm not supposed to mention his name, but he had special criterias for the Hall of Fame. He wanted one person of African American descent.
Check.
And one female every year.
Check.
To be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Check off both those boxes.
Those boxes have always been checked.
Tag team.
Thunderbolt Patterson is without a doubt, if you look at the body of work, his legacy is all NWA.
Yes.
It is without a doubt a great litany of accomplishments that was made. And the one thing that we've been hearing from has been really more the purist. Guys like myself and Anthony Florio, this is not our cup of tea. This is not our time, not our era. So for us, we got to lean on legends, guys who really get to know them, like Jim Ross, like Dave Meltzer. They have been very vocal in a very positive light about Thunderbolt Patterson and what he has done and what he means to the wrestling industry. So for us, we can go around and say, yes, we don't know much about him, so this is kind of a little bit out of our realm. However, by all attempted purposes and all judgments, this is an excellent choice. For many people, even some of the wrestling purists, they are celebrating that this man finally has gotten in. And many people believe Thunderbolt Patterson should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. So this is major props to Triple H for finding this gem. You could call it a gem or a diamond in the rough, where maybe we didn't know about this man, but by getting a chance to see and read and understand this guy was pretty unique and very awesome. He was, unfortunately, he lost both his legs. He's been amputated due to diabetes, which is very sad. So I don't know how they're gonna honor him. He is alive, folks.
Yes,
he is. He is alive, 82 years young. Yep. He is. So I would like to know how they're gonna honor him. Maybe through a video package, or maybe they might have him come out. I don't know. But I'm very excited and very interested to see how they honor Thunderbolt Patterson when he goes into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations, good sir. Anthony, it's back to you.
Amen to that, MF. All right. So with that being said, we go from a banger of an opener to a whimper of a next match. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell squaring off against Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell win the match in roughly 2 minutes. Yeah, this was a dud. I'm sorry. This was, without a doubt, the worst fight of the night. I will say this, though. Candice LeRae's new attitude and commitment to winning matches at all costs reared its head again tonight as she teamed with Indi Hartwell to defeat the former women's tag team champions Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. LeRae mocked an apparent injury to Katana Chance's knee and slammed the limb into the ring post before submitting her for the win. I will say this. Yes, the match was terrible. Yes, the match was an absolute dud and the worst fight of the night. But from a professional standpoint, the new Candice LeRae is a welcome change of pace. The Poison Pixie has wandered aimlessly almost since returning to WWE, and this is the first real indication that there is a plan for her in the women's division. Indi Hartwell's hesitance to fully embrace the actions of her partner and mentor suggests maybe a split in the future. But for now, this is a great and fresh direction for a performer who has long felt like she had more to offer. So the intensity and disregard for her opponent's well-being from Candice LeRae was most notable here. So yeah, absolute dud. Worst fight of the night. No question about that. Oh yeah. We are most certainly going to get into this. It was a late addition to the, this was not advertised ahead of time. This was added probably a couple hours or so before the show. Cody Rhodes cutting a promo, and he went all in on The Rock. Now, there were some dirt sheets stating that WWE talents were very upset because they had to adhere to PG guidelines when it comes to their promos, whereas The Rock was getting special preferential treatment where The Rock could say anything he wanted, including profanity. Well, tonight, they gave free reign to Cody Rhodes. And damn it to hell, Cody Rhodes took full advantage of this. You know what, man. And then he was shortly after he was actually interrupted by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, he said, Roman Reigns is a man of his word. This Friday night on SmackDown in Milwaukee, when you two have your face-to-face, Roman will be alone. Well, I'll be out there because I'm the special counsel and all that. But Roman will be alone. You have to come alone also. Cody said, done deal. Well, Cody Rhodes saw The Rock's concert shtick from this past Friday night on SmackDown and raised him a seething promo in which he talked backstage politics, how unfazed his mother was by his WrestleMania opponent's threats, and blasted the Great One with some emphatic statements. The handcuffs were off, and this American Nightmare, sporting a black suit that represented the darker, more serious tone of his words, was the most engaging of this road to WrestleMania yet. Paul Heyman interrupted the proceedings and laid down the challenge to Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns will show up Friday night for their face-to-face alone, but the back-to-back Royal Rumble winner must also arrive alone. Cody accepted and wrapped up the best promo segment to date ahead of the two WrestleMania main events, pitting Cody Rhodes against the Bloodline. Cody said, Rock, I don't think you're a heel. I think you're an a-hole. He said, you're a whiny biatch. Don't think for 2 seconds that this locker room needs you more than you need it. And then talking about his mother, saying, this is the same lady who hopped off her chair at a Willie Nelson concert and beat the hell out of an undercover cop. She is not afraid of you, he said of his mother's reaction to The Rock. And then he said, is it going to be Big Dwayne energy or just LDS? Little Bleep Syndrome. He also said at WrestleMania, I think you're just Roman's side chick. And then he said, you have referred to yourself as the final boss. And he said, kudos to Brian Gewirtz for that nickname. And then Cody told Paul Heyman, I'm about to go full Homelander and rip your throat out. Get to the point. Wow. Segment of the night for me, no question about it. And a lot of people on social media were calling for this side of Cody. They really, a lot of people were very critical about the emotion that Cody showed. I wasn't. I was one of the few who defended it. But tonight, that was exactly. I am hopeful that will satisfy the those naysayers out there who wanted that fire and intensity out of Cody. That's what you wanted. He gave that to you and then some here tonight. They gave him free reign, and he took full advantage of it. I absolutely loved it. Segment of the night. And Cody, the only thing I ask of you, my man, don't take your foot off that gas. You roast, toast, and burn the tribal chief to a crisp on that mic on Friday night in Milwaukee. Keep your foot on that gas, brother. I want to see more of that. So, segment of the night for me, absolutely well done. So, not much more to say. MF, so many people on social media, they wanted that angry, fiery side of Cody instead of that emotional Cody that we saw last week.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted him to go all in.
Mm-hmm.
He went all in. And not only that, but they gave him a live microphone. They gave him free reign. And damn it to hell, he took full advantage of it.
And that was the thing we were waiting for. You know, I think that should be the standard from now on for WWE promos. Let them work. Let them have their moment. Let them do what they need to do. Let them be authentic, animated. Give us that kind of attitude. That's exactly what we wanted. Now, I know a lot of the boys in the back were really mad because Rock was running things and WWE was kind of like, no, you got to stay within the pocket. You got to stay within what you need to do. Tonight, you could tell there was a major difference. And the one other thing is that Rock got into a lot of trouble for the comments he made because that was network television. This is more cable TV, so there's a little bit of leeway for Cody to do what he did. Now, I'm not going to say, and I'm not going to start defending Cody because of the fact that he got the free reign, because that's exactly what he needed. He needed to prove to us, that he can flip that switch. And the way he did it, this was Cody of AEW. That was not Cody Rhodes of WWE. Let me preface this. This is exactly the Cody we wanted from All Elite Wrestling. You saw a different demeanor. You saw a different attitude. You saw a different look. Tonight was Cody Rhodes breaking down the barriers and doing things his way, letting everybody know how that's going to play out. What's now going to be very interesting is what they're going to do leading into Mania. And more importantly, this face-to-face that's about to go down on Friday night on SmackDown. If it does hold true, Roman and Cody in the ring, no Bloodline, no Rock, no Seth. The only man that's going to be in that ring will be Paul Heyman. Why? I don't know. Maybe this is the rare time where if you really want to be one-on-one, Paul Why don't you stay outside of the ring? Let me deal with Roman myself. I don't think Roman will have a problem with that. I think Roman probably will. He'll laugh at it at first, but then realize, you know what? Fine. Paul, out. I got it. I can handle this. Then let the explosions begin and let's have some fun. So I thought they did a good job. Cody absolutely nailed it, did what he needed it to do, made me believe. And now I'm ready for the big one on Friday. That could be all kinds of fun. Nothing more to say, Florio. It's yours.
All right, Matt, keep your mic on. You'll be leading off on our next match. Excuse me. As it was Dominic Mysterio squaring off against Ricochet. Ricochet wins the match in 7 minutes and 20 seconds. MF, quick thought.
Surprise win. Because of the fact that, Dominic just got back. He's still in that newly wedded bliss more than anything else. And then Ricochet just comes out and gets a monster win. Big win for him. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he got the outcome. I'm happy he got the victory. I think that was something that I don't think none of us thought was probably going to happen, but it did. Good for him. I could give this about 3.25. Like I said, solid look, solid match. Nothing more to say, Anthony. It's yours.
Yeah. 2.5 stars for me. This was a nice showcase for Ricochet and should lead to an interesting reaction from the leaders of Judgment Day as they take exception to the failures of JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio of late. Could we be preparing to revisit a potential breakup of the most dominant faction on Monday nights? Ricochet is levels above many of the wrestlers he shares the ring, and one has to wonder when we will finally see him get that sustained push befitting his talents. So that's something we need to think about right there. Another one of the big segments of the night, the contract signing for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 40. General Manager Anna Pierce presiding. It was the champion Gunther and his number one contender, his challenger, Sami Zayn. I'll tell you, this was a strong in-ring promo segment with fiery mic work from Sami and unabashed overconfidence from Gunther that the underdog from the underground will look to use against him at WrestleMania. And Zayn told the ring general, "You sit there with that smug look on your face and it's really starting to piss me off." Gunther also said, "If you were to be honest to yourself, you don't believe you can beat me." And then the champion also warned, at WrestleMania, your dreams will meet reality. Simple and highly effective mic work from both men. Nice touch to have the normally happy-to-go-lucky Chad Gable tell Sami he can't beat Gunther. And now, if more than anything else, this actually raises the excitement level for Gunther and Sami. So we'll wait and see on that. So simple, highly effective, solid work from both men. So not much more to say. MF, quick thought on this. Usually contract signings don't end well, but this is one of the rare times where this contract signing went off without a hitch.
Yeah, it didn't really need any physicality. It didn't really need anything like that. Normally, if there's bad blood or something like that, genuinely we'd be like, all right, this is what it exactly needs, and it is perfect. This is one of those rare cases that it didn't really need any chaos or anything like that. Just let the men do what they need to do. Let them work their magic. We know that they're going to get a good payoff. And Sami is one of the better talkers in WWE. That's why we're very confident about what he can bring to the table. And for Gunther, I mean, he's just leaps and bounds getting better and better. And that's why I think a lot of people kind of feel and sway the way they do about the Intercontinental Champion. So, I mean, yeah. The one thing that I gotta say is the Chad Gable comment that kind of gives me a little bit of trepidation. I know there's some people that are arguing that maybe we should get a triple threat. There's people that feel that this should have been Chad Gable's moment, not Sami Zayn. Again, there's going to be debates about it and everything else. Like anything can happen leading into WrestleMania. Who knows? But to see Sami versus Gunther one-on-one for the Intercontinental crown, dude, this is going to be something else when we get to WrestleMania. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Gonna be happening, eh, Monsoon? No doubt. So, yes. Move on. We had our next qualifying match for the six-pack WrestleMania ladder match for the tag titles, as it was the Awesome Truth, R-Truth and The Miz squaring off against Indus Sher, Veer Mahan, and Sangha, Jinder Mahal in their corner. Winners of the match, 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and qualifying for the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania for the Undisputed Tag Team titles, it was the Awesome Truth. They win the match 3:15. Second worst fight of the night here. I'm not going to call it a dud or anything. I am, however, going to give it about 1 star for the effort. Miz and R-Truth will be one of 5 teams to challenge undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and Damian Priest in the six-pack tag team ladder match at WrestleMania 40 by way of their victory over Indus Sher tonight. Veer and Sangha dominated the action, overpowering Miz until a hot tag to Truth sparked the babyface comeback. An Aaron elbow from Mahan to Truth sent him backward onto Sangha, who had just endured a Truth Detector / skull-crushing finale combo for the fluke pin. It would have been nice to see the babyfaces score a decisive win, especially since there was next to no reason to protect Indus Sher here. But the nature of the win at least fits the comedic presentation of R-Truth, so it was consistent, if nothing else. And Miz rapped to the ring with R-Truth, recalling the early days of Awesome Truth over a decade ago, back when they were heels. But 1 star, second worst fight of the night. And we go from the second worst fight of the night to the maybe the second best segment of the night here. As we had an in-ring segment, another theme of the night in-ring segment. You had Drew McIntyre coming out, and on his way, and while he was making his entrance, the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, upstages him and just blows past him on his way to the ring. And we got a promo segment with Seth Rollins and with Drew McIntyre. So MF, your thoughts as Drew comes out getting ready to cut a promo. Rollins comes right on out after him, blows past him as if he wasn't even there. But boy, howdy, these two. Oh, another good segment here.
It's getting good now, boys. I know you guys were saying, when are we going to see Rollins and Drew? When are we going to see Rollins and Drew? They haven't been really hyping up their WrestleMania stuff. 2 weeks in a row, they hyped it. Look, Seth was preoccupied with the Roman Reigns thing, with the bloodline thing, and you're thinking, Seth is not taking Drew lightly. Seth is taking Drew lightly. He's not making this focus. This is not good. Seth, get your head out of your butt. You might lose your title at WrestleMania. Seth now realizes the threat. He knows what's going on. He has not lost any of that fire, any of that passion. He is ready for WrestleMania, and he's adamant about it. He basically punked out Drew McIntyre right in front of his face earlier in the night by coming out, stealing the thunder, getting that crowd all riled up, and it worked. 2 weeks in a row. I'm intrigued. I felt good. I thought they did a really good job with this. So for me, job well done. Now we're getting more closer and closer to the fight at WrestleMania, and like we said, we're all in on this. So Anthony, it's yours.
A great back and forth that saw Seth Rollins drop the gimmicky mic work and get serious as he continued to play mind games with his upcoming challenge. This was exactly what this feud needed, with 3 weeks still remaining in the build to this title bout. Seth said, "My name is Seth freaking Rollins, and I'm a spotlight junkie," the world champion admitted, playing up Drew McIntyre's claims from a week ago. McIntyre asked Rollins, "Why can't that be the reason we're getting the biggest spotlight?" questioning why the attention has to be on the Visionaries match, along with Cody Rhodes against The Rock and Roman Reigns, instead of the two of them and their hard work. And Rollins said, "That's the difference between you and me. When the lights are brightest, I shine." So that's really all I can say on that. So another great promo here, like I said. So second best segment of the night for me. Next up was the third and final qualifying match for the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods squaring off against Otis and Akira Tozawa. New Day wins the match, 9.5 minutes. I'll tell you what, sleeper fight of the night for me. I'm going to give it a solid 3. I thought it was going to be a lot like that other match with Miz and R-Truth against Indus Sher. I didn't think it was going to be much of anything, but a pleasant surprise here. And I will say this: the New Day are headed to WrestleMania following their win over Tozawa and Otis tonight. Kofi and Xavier overcame the bowling ball-like offense of Otis, fighting through the punishment caused by his unparalleled power to secure the win. And this is a little mind-boggling to me. The victory returns Kofi Kingston to the Showcase of the Immortals, the site of the greatest triumph in... I misread this note here. I'm sorry. The victory returns Kofi to the Showcase of the Immortals, the site of the greatest triumph in his career, when he won the WWE Championship from Daniel Bryan, alias Bryan Danielson, in 2019 as part of WrestleMania 35. It would be fair to say that as great as New Day is, the momentum is not quite on their side, as it was on that fateful night at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, making the likelihood of a repeat of Kofi Mania fairly low. Or I could really, or in other words, another monsoonism, highly unlikely. Otis exploded into the match and wore out Xavier and Kofi with his power. He is a big man who does the most with what he is given and continues to be among the more entertaining watches in the company. Kofi delivered a tornado DDT to take Otis out of the equation, allowing Xavier to deliver a sit-out powerbomb to Tozawa and finish him off with a tightrope elbow drop for the win. Like I said, sleeper fight of the night, 3 stars. So pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting much out of this. I'm not surprised about the outcome. The outcome was predictable. We all knew New Day was going to win this match. But the way we got there, though, that was not predictable. And I was pleasantly surprised with this. Sleeper fight of the night for me, 3 stars. MF, Kofi and Xavier with another chance to add another tag team title reign to their laundry list of tag title reigns. A chance to do it on the grandest stage of them all. And they did so by putting away Tozawa and Otis, 9.5 minutes in what I thought was a 3-star sleeper fight of the night.
Sleeper fight of the night, agreed. 3 stars, agreed. Great match. Good wrestling psychology. And if you really think about it, at the end of the day, the 3 teams that are representing Monday Night Raw at WrestleMania are no big surprises. The DIY was no big surprise. Awesome Truth is no big surprise. Some people will even make Awesome Truth the favorite going in to possibly win the tag team titles because of the storyline and everything that's going on there. And then, of course, to have the New Day in there, dude, it's the New Day. It's Kofi. It's Xavier. They've been, they've been working this thing together. Yes, I know. We always think about Big E and, him not being there. It sucks. But let me tell you, just to know that the New Day is a part of WrestleMania is going to be great. This team has always been delivering. They've always given us great performances. They are, other than maybe the Usos, the greatest tag team in WWE modern day. Now, I'm not talking greatest tag team of all time, because that is a litany of people that you could add to that list. The Road Warriors, the LOD, Road Warriors, the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, Demolition,
Heart Foundation. Heart Foundation.
Heart Foundation. The litany of teams that have carried the WWE Tag Team Championships in that era. It's just like you can make an argument for where they are. But let me tell you, if they actually do it, if the New Day some way, somehow walks out the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions, it is a callback to the greatness of their body of work, to what they are to us. And let me tell you, if they win the belt, normally I don't do this, but I might call for a New Day celebration with the trombone and everything else that Bullock likes to do. We might be doing it. I might do it. I might lead this one. And you know what I mean, Anthony Florio, when I mean the New Day celebration.
We as I recall, we did that celebration at Monday Night Raw in Boston when Big E won the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
September 13th of 21.
We might have to do it. And I'm already calling it. We might do it. We might have to do it. I know when Dee Woodson got embarrassed, and I felt bad because she was like, I can't believe you boys just did that. But it's the New Day, Dee. We love them. Yes. They're like our heroes, man. They're heroes to us.
You're the Big E, I'm the Kofi, and Bullock's the Xavier.
Yeah. So
I'll say this. I will say this. If and only if somehow, some way, New Day actually do win the titles, I say we do it.
Right.
So why not? But that's only keyword.
Yes,
only if.
Yes. Keyword only if they do it. The odds are definitely stacked against them, and even I'll openly admit, if you want my honest opinion, it's either gonna be Judgment Day successfully defends, or I think Awesome Truth could actually walk away with these belts.
I could see. I most definitely see that happening. I really do.
I actually think there might be. Here's the thing I'm thinking. Miz grabs one belt. I think what might happen is Miz maybe grabs the Raw belt. I think when and R-Truth, not realizing, I think he grabs the SmackDown belt, and then maybe something happens where the SmackDown belt goes flying and somebody else catches it. Then we have a problem. What happens at that point? And that's why I think we might get the split belt.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how that works. But yeah, so 3 stars, MF. Is that what you were saying?
Yep.
All right. So that was definitely the sleeper fight of the night. All right. Nothing much. Nothing much. Only 2 things announced for Chicago next week. 1 match announced. Ricochet will be squaring off against JD McDonough. Doesn't sound all that exciting, I'll be honest. But CM Punk will be at the Allstate Arena, Chicago, Illinois, or as we call it, the IWC capital of the world. The Punkster will be in Chicago next week. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. Oh, by the way, in 2 weeks for Monday Night Raw's go home show for WrestleMania, that will be at the Barclays in Brooklyn. The Rock is going to be at the Barclays. Oh boy. It's about time we got him on Raw. So, yo, I'm ready. Let's go. WrestleMania week. All right. Main event of the evening. The Man, Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. Winner of the match, 18 minutes and 35 seconds. The Man, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch finally gets the Nia monkey off her back. She wins the match. Wow. Becky Lynch settled her rivalry with Nia Jax tonight, defeating her in a last woman standing match. The Man took big bumps and suffered tremendous punishment at the hands of the Irresistible Force. She was driven through tables, slammed into chairs, and endured an Annihilator Banzai drop, but through sheer toughness and grit, fought through the pain to stay in the bout. Ultimately, she showed the extent to which she was willing to go to defeat Nia Jax, diving off a ladder and driving her through the announce table with a leg drop to score the win. This was a fun, weapon-filled brawl that allowed Becky to wrap up the other loose end that was the Nia Jax feud before shifting her focus to Rhea Ripley, who closed out the show by making her way to the ring and confronting Becky face-to-face. This match may not be in one of the main event positions on the WrestleMania card, but make no mistake about it, it will have the crowd heat and fervor around it to be one. Michael Cole noted on commentary that Becky Lynch passed her test yesterday on Sunday to become a United States citizen. Congratulations to the Man. She is now a U.S. citizen. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax's battle with a stubborn table at ringside proved to be more amusing than it should have been. Nia delivered a wicked Samoan drop onto steel chairs. Becky blinded Nia with a fire extinguisher, turning the tide of the match in her favor. For a moment, that is, as Nia caught her charging in and delivered a Samoan drop through a table. The Man delivered a manhandle slam off the apron, through a table, but still could not keep the Irresistible Force down. It's very tough. I mean, this match and the opener, we were bookended. Bookended by a banger of an opener and an equal banger of a main event. But there was just something about that opener that was just a smidgen better. But I'm going to give this in excess of 4 to 4.25 stars and call this the second best fight of the night by a smidge. But this was done perfectly. And now Becky got both of the loose ends tied up. No more Liv Morgan. No more Nia Jax. For the next 2 weeks, Mommy and the Man. That's it. No Nia, no Liv, no nothing. Give these two the spotlight they deserve. So, upward and onward now for the Man. So, 4 to 4.25 stars, MF. No question about it. Yes, the outcome was predictable. We all had a feeling Becky was going to go over. She was due for this win here tonight. But boy, howdy. You want to talk about a perfect end to a perfect blow-off for this side feud for Becky. I mean, last week she got Liv off her back. Tonight she got an even bigger monkey off her back, that being Nia Jax, and now it's onward and upward to WrestleMania 40. Mommy came out. They stood eye to eye, face to face. You know the shtick. So 4 to 4.25 for me, MF, fight of the night here. Well, second best fight of the night here. But what an incredible last woman standing match. Becky Lynch finally gets the Nia Jax monkey off her back. And now Rhea, Becky, now she can fully focus on mommy heading towards WrestleMania.
And that's exactly what we've been waiting for. We wanted this to be one-on-one. We wanted this to be just Rhea versus Becky. We didn't want any distractions. We were fearing about maybe a fatal four-way. Then that got so now that we got everything out of the way, there's nothing left. Now it's truly one-on-one for the belt. And that's the way it should have been all along, the way it needed to be. Rhea's been dominating. Becky's been dominating. They both got momentum. They both are heading into WrestleMania at the top of their games. And exactly what we're going to wait and see is now who comes out of that match as the women's world champion at WrestleMania. Going into it, I kind of feel like it should be Rhea. Now I'm starting to be a little more optimistic about maybe Becky winning it all. So it's kind of going both ways. It's not just, oh, it's Becky and that's it. Where maybe going in, I was thinking, Rhea has a shot because she's been so hot. Why not give her the moment? Keep the momentum with Rhea. She is the best thing going in the women's division. Becky Lynch has proven, hey, I still got it. I can still do this. I can run this division. There's nothing that's stopping me. Nothing that, I'm proving to the world that I am the best. Give me the opportunity. Let me run with that belt. I'm still big time back. So I'm not going to say no. You think for 1 second that I'm going to say no to Becky freaking Lynch? Absolutely not. I know what she is. She is box office. She is the flag. She's been the flag bearer of the women's division for the last, you could say, maybe 5 years since she won the title at WrestleMania at 35. She's been the biggest name, the biggest star, the biggest everything in WWE. Rhea Ripley now has an opportunity to cement her legacy at WrestleMania. If she beats Becky Lynch, if we get a passing of the torch moment from Becky to Rhea, I'll tell you right now, we could say whatever we want to say about Rhea Ripley, but she has been the best thing on Monday Night Raw for the last year. Since she won the title at WrestleMania 1 year ago, and she has not faltered. She has even gotten better and stronger and more amazing since her reign. And let me tell you, we've been saying how we've been living in mommy's world. Now the question becomes, do we continue to run that? Or does the man flip that switch, alters the whatever you want to call it, and cements herself as the face, the woman, the top person on Monday Night Raw, and more importantly, in that women's world title division? We got a lot. There's a lot to be deciphered and a lot to figure out between now and WrestleMania. And we got 3 weeks before we get there. So, I mean, can't get any better than this. It doesn't. So the excitement level's there. I just want to see where we go from here. So that's all I'm going to ask. Anthony Florio, it is yours, bro.
MF, you lead off on our overall thoughts. Monday Night Raw from Raleigh, North Carolina tonight.
It was good in certain areas, but it was also a little rough in a couple of areas. A couple of fights, probably we could have done without, but the non-wrestling segments, the promo segments, really carried the night here, and it really made it an enjoyable 3 hours. The build to WrestleMania has been the best ever. We've been alluding to it. We've been talking about it. We've been praising the road to WrestleMania, how we're all excited for it. Certain loose ends still needs to be tightened up in certain storylines, but we got a good lead in for the Intercontinental title fight. We finally have 3 teams cemented for WrestleMania in the tag team ladder match. Rollins and McIntyre are parlaying off their hot promo about a week ago, gave us an equally and just as good tonight. Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. Now they can truly focus on each other heading into WrestleMania. No more Liv Morgan, no more Nia Jax, no more distractions leading into that big fight at WrestleMania. And Cody freaking Rhodes channeling the American Nightmare of AEW, giving us a once-in-a-lifetime promo, ripping on the Great One, The Rock, shredding him like nobody has done yet in WWE, breaking the fourth wall, going after him, and going fire for fire on some of the promos he did here tonight. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. This was a very good Monday Night Raw. Anthony, it is yours.
Yes, 8 out of 10 for me as well. A strong main event and a great tag team match between DIY and the Creed brothers, coupled with the 2 stellar promo segments involving Cody Rhodes and then World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, helped make tonight's Raw an easy thumbs up. Almost everything served a purpose. The creative was focused, and we saw stellar performances from Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins in particular. The product remains hot, and the fans, with plenty to cheer for and invest in, have helped elevate the overall quality of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. This was no different. Next week, the flagship show invades the IWC capital of the world, Chicago, Illinois, with a special appearance from their hometown boy, CM Punk. Expect more of the same next week. 2 more Raws until we get to the Philadelphia. Just get us there now, man. Unbelievable. 8 out of 10 for me. I wholeheartedly agree with MF on all of that. So,
and I will say, we might start getting some photos from the link, maybe about, because isn't this around once we get into the 2-week window? Isn't this around the time when they start moving the trucks into the link or into the WrestleMania venue?
I should hope so.
I would think. So. Because they take a long time, because okay. I don't know if that was the actual stage. But if that is
it was fan made. That was if you're wondering about that thing I sent you earlier,
yeah,
that was a fan thing. But
because if
that was something I had to share. I had to share that.
I know. But I will say this. I kind of have a feeling like, don't you feel like since it's Philadelphia, wouldn't that make sense to have the infamous the infamous Rocky steps with that? I think it's the Philadelphia. I think it's like the Philadelphia Museum. It's like an art museum in Philly. I think that's the site.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be something. It has to be something Philadelphia. It has to be something that's going to make it like. And they got some big shoes to fill, because last year's WrestleMania stage.
Oh, you loved it. You gushed over it.
Dude, not only was I gushing over it, The IWC was gushing over it.
Yep.
The internet damn near broke. I mean, it was without a doubt one of the greatest WrestleMania stages in a very long time. And they outdid themselves with that one.
You said it was the best.
How they're gonna pull this off.
You said last year's was the best since 33.
Yes.
So,
and I still believe that. Still to this day, yes.
What are they gonna have in store for us when we get to the Philadelphia? What are they gonna?
I heard something because there was also some talk about maybe like a Liberty Bell looking structure. It might be at Philly. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a part of the stage or if that's going to be like an overhang. Or you know how WrestleMania, I want to say it was 29. That was at MetLife. The first WrestleMania, not the 35, but I think it was 29. And they had that overhang of the Statue of Liberty over the ring.
Yes.
In that canopy. And then you had the Brooklyn Bridge basically with the New York skyline. So I mean, that who knows? Who knows what Philly could do? I don't know. WWE's got something special, but because that Liberty Bell is in the logo for WrestleMania, look, they have to have that incorporated in some way or fashion.
Oh, absolutely. And all I know is if that thing I sent in the messenger earlier is if it's anything like that, oh boy. That's all there is to say on that. So we definitely can't wait to find out how that all plays out, but we'll hopefully get some inklings maybe starting next week or maybe even during WrestleMania week itself. So anyways, let's get into my Tony's Take here. We're back to our normal Tony's Take here. And we started off, you know how we do it, Impact Wrestling along with NXT Level Up. And let's get into Impact Wrestling first. All right. Oh, hit the wrong one there for a moment. All right. All right, bear with me, friends. I'm trying to find it. Okay, here we go. I think I got it now. All right, here we go. It was from the St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And, it was the fallout from their latest TNA Plus special, Sacrifice. You're not going to see a Plus special again until May because in April, it's a pay-per-view this time. And that is Rebellion, April 20th at the Palms in Las Vegas. First match on this Impact show, return match from the whatchamacallit there, the February show, No Surrender. Return match from No Surrender for the X Division Championship. Mustafa Ali defending against Chris Sabin. Winner of the match and still X Division champion, Mustafa Ali. I don't have a time of the fall. 3.5 stars was the rating for that match. Then Josh Alexander cuts a promo and called out Hammerstone, and obviously unfinished business there. Josh Alexander went up against Oleg Prudius. Josh wins the match. It was pretty much a squash match, an enhancement match, no rating. Ace Austin versus Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian wins the match. Another 3.5 star match. Joe Hendry squaring off against AJ Francis. AJ Francis wins the match. Rich Swann turns heel. Rich Swann turned on Joe Hendry. AJ Francis winning the match. 3 stars for that one. New Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Jody Threat and Danny Luna defending against a couple of lady jobbers, Bia Moss and Vanna Black. Jody Threat winning the match. But the match was actually a lot better than it had any right to be. It ended up being a 3-star match. I can't believe I'm saying that. Sleeper fight of the night. Nick Nemeth and the Speedball Mountains going up against Steve Macklin and the Rascals. Nick Nemeth and Speedball Mountain winning the match. This was the fight of the night, 3 3/4 of a star. 7.5 out of 10. Fun show. I can't say I agree that someone with the experience of Chris Sabin would think that it would be a smart idea to try to hit Mustafa Ali with the belt during a title bout. But it's great to have Mustafa Ali in TNA. And I'm looking forward to see who he faces during his X Division title run here. Frankie Kazarian's character is getting more depth each week, and he's now calling himself the king of professional wrestling. Joe Henry's feud with AJ Francis has been fun to watch, and I'm glad that Rich Swann is finally turning heel and getting to do something. Jody Threat and Danny Luna look fantastic in their little squash match, and they've really worked on their team together, complete with a team name, entrance video, and music, and a bunch of double team moves. It was awesome that we got a face-off between a bunch of three-man alliances to close out the show, as Nick Nemeth and Speedball Mountain defeated Steve Macklin and the Rascals, only to get beat down by the System after the bout. The presentation of the System has been great as they now walk around in suits and have their own vignettes. Them listing out their accomplishments with a little ticker at the bottom of the screen was a nice little touch. Nick Nemeth looked like a star in this match, as there was a stretch where he was taking out everyone all on his own. And of course, it was announced that at the Rebellion pay-per-view on April 20, Moose will defend the TNA Heavyweight Championship against Nick Nemeth. So it was clear that that was the big main event that they were building to, and they've done a great job with it so far, and now it's official. So I look forward to seeing how that goes. So 7.5 for this show. This Thursday on Impact Wrestling, Ash by Elegance, formerly Dana Brooke. Ash by Elegance will be in action. Grizzled Young Veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson, they'll go up against Alex Shelley and Kushida. And we have 2 championship matches on this show. Crazy Steve will defend the Digital Media Championship against PCO. And Jordan Grace will defend the Knockouts Championship against former champion in her own right, the Bariqua Badass, Tasha Steelz. So that all goes down Thursday night on Impact Wrestling. Quickly get into NXT Level Up here. As I find it in my notes here. All right. All right, here we are. Okay. Started off with Lola Vice versus Carly Bright. Lola Vice in 420 wins it in 425. Solid little match. The crowd was into as they love Lola. Carly has some athleticism thanks to her background, and the more matches she can work, the better. That was a 1.5-star match. Channing Stacks Lorenzo and Luca Crusifino of the Family going up against Javier Bernal and Drake Moreau. Family win the match, 525. Standard tag match that worked the 100-year-old formula. Didn't get to see much from Drake, but perhaps that was by design as that was his debut. 2 stars. And then we had another match. Ren Sinclair going up against the returning Sol Ruca. And Sol Ruca in 6 minutes and 6 seconds. We were all waiting for the Soul Snatcher, and we got it. Outside of it, it was a slow bout that probably went longer than needed, but it was great to see Soul back out there. 1 star. 5 out of 10. The good on this show is that Sol Ruca is back, and that's the biggest story coming out of the show. The rest was what we come to expect from the Level Up kids. Easy watch with short matches involving people trying to find their way or making their debut. So that's a 5 out of 10. So with that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We will be back with you on Wednesday night at 10:30 or so over on MF's channel, BraceFan95, for another edition of Wednesday Night Madness, NXT, and of course, another loaded AEW Dynamite. And there's going to be a live Rampage following that. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get into that, but that AEW Dynamite though, oh boy, what a show that's going to be! I'll tell you. And then on Friday night, another crossover show. We will have our review of Friday Night SmackDown, and we will also have our coverage of the NCAA tournament. We'll recap the Thursday games, the earlier games from Friday, and if it's warranted, possible bonus commentary. We'll have to wait and find out. So we'll see if we get into any of that on Friday. So, and then next Monday, we do it all again, Ridiculously Raw. And as we continue on the road to WrestleMania 40, we're getting closer. We still got a bit of a ways to go. We got a few more weeks, but don't worry. It'll be here before you know it. So So that's it. So until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness over on MF's channel, Race Fan 95, this is Anthony Florio here for Good Old MF, Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, the Phenom, Michael Bullock, and of course, always and forever, the first lady of our show, the one and only Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.